Move the operating lever on the right hand side of the transmission fully rearwards into the P position. Now push the selector rod towards the rear, and whilst holding in this position, refit and tighten the nut, bolt and washer securing the rod to the selector lever. What? This is a shifter in my VW T25 van, or for those in America, the Vanagon. Now, I bought this van recently and I have a bit of a problem selecting gears. So I'll just show you basically what the problem is. Clutch down to get out of first. Now first, doesn't go in. Absolute nightmare. You got second, you got third, and fourth, which feels, it's not clicking, it's grating, it's not right. It feels like it's actually pressing down as you would for reverse. I can get reverse, that doesn't seem to be a problem. So first and fourth is a major issue. Now I had the exact same problem with my previous van, and to cure that I basically went through the whole gear shifter line up to the gearbox, replaced all the bushers. However, I didn't touch anything at this end, at the shifter end, and to be quite honest, it made it worse. So it actually made everything tighter and selecting gears even worse. So this time round in this van, I'm doing things a little bit differently. Get in first. So first is over where reverses and stuff. I have to press it down a bit and stuff. Absolute nightmare. So I'm doing things differently on this van. I'm starting at the shifter end. Now I've seen something in an absolutely fantastic video. If this works, I will link to it, because this little tip was unbelievable. I've not seen it before. It's so simple, just about for aligning your shifter in the right place. So I'm going to try that first of all before I do any of the changes to any of the linkages and stuff and bushers on there. And I'm hoping we're going to achieve a better shifter without changing all those parts, because it's quite a bit of a major task to do all that quick and easy. If at least I can get first gear, even if it's a little bit of a struggle, that's better than it is right now, because it's almost impossible. So let's see if it works. So I've taken the gear shift knob and the boot off, and the first thing that's apparent is this plate looks to be in the wrong position. So there's two little holes here at both sides, which you can use for aligning. You put a screwdriver in to keep things in place while you tighten things down, and it looks like the whole plate has been shifted this way. Also, these holes where the bolts go through look like they've been manually elongated, so they are not nice, neat Volkswagen style slots in there. So I think someone's been having a little file at those to try and get things aligned, which is a little bit of a concern. So this might be a bit more of a fight than I first planned. Just want to make sure we're in neutral. So the resting position is usually somewhere between third and fourth. Get my 10mm ratchet and do the lock nuts. That wasn't very tight. Next we're going to take a scrap of wood and chop off a little block off the end of it. It wants to be 23mm wide, like so. I just use the side of the grinding wheel to make it nice and accurate. Once our spare wheel is removed, we're going to go under the van to the back of the spare wheel holder, and we're going to look up from behind. From here we can see the back of the shift box and our shifter. Now we're going to get a 23mm block and wedge it in there like so. So that should put the shifter into the neutral position between third and fourth. So under the back of the van and side of the gearbox where the linkage attaches, and just making sure that this is nice and vertical, so it's in a neutral position, and in the centre of where it runs through the bush look, you can see the clean parts, so it's up and down as it should be. So in the middle of the van behind the fuel tank is the connection between the front part of the linkage and the rear. It's held together with a U-clip, a 13mm nut or bolt. Basically I've loosened that so the front can twist independent to the rear, so it's taken any tension out of this rear section, and it's in its neutral position, and the front section is now wedged in place by a little chock of wood at the front. Now when you do this, occasionally the chock of wood will fall out, so you have to go and double check it's still in place before you nip things up. Back in the car, we're going to align this plate by sticking a couple of screwdrivers in those little holes, just like so. Nipping up our nuts. So our shifter's in its factory position. Gonna make sure our chock wood's still in place, which it is. I'm holding the front section with a bit of tension so the block doesn't fall out, so I'm holding it against the block at the front. It's a bit tricky, you need 3 hands, so you have to hold the bolt at the top and nip it back up again. So what we've effectively done there is we've put our shifter in the correct position. We've got it set inside the box, so it's in its neutral position there. These are now aligned, so this is in its relaxed neutral position, and we've reconnected it. So in theory now the rod is in the right place, and fingers crossed we've got a first gear. So I'm going to go and take the chock out the front and we'll give it a quick try. Okay, we've got neutral position, first gear, second, third, fourth, rocking and rolling. Now first gear occasionally, oh, a little bit notchy. First gear was fourth gear, so I'm hoping I'm going to go forwards. Yeah, first gear is first gear, rock and roll. Now obviously I've not done any bushes on here, so the bushes could be a bit warm, which doesn't help with the free play and stuff in the linkage and that, but that is 1000% improvement on how it was. I can get first gear easily now, so I'm very, very happy with that for now, and so I'll look into replacing the bushes as necessary in the future. Hope it helps, guys. Take care. Bye bye.